CoW is a DEX aggregator and also MEV blocker. Basically, this protocol tries to get you the absolute best execution for any swaps that you make on the blockchain. So I'll show you how to use it and swap coins on here. So firstly, we go to cow.fi. I'll link them below as well. But then in the top right, go to trade on CoW. And then that takes us through to this page, which is the normal swap page. I'm going to connect my wallet here. Any Ethereum style wallet's going to be fine. So I'll just connect my Rabbi because it recognizes I've got this set up. MetaMask, other wallets are going to be fine. If you don't have a wallet set up yet, you're brand new to DeFi, I'll leave some videos below on how to get set up with a wallet and some other things you might need to know. But from here, we've connected our wallet and then we can go ahead and swap. So exactly what's happening here, if you look at the docs on CoW, what they do is they aggregate all of the liquidity around different protocols. So instead of trading directly on Uniswap, what you do is use CoW and you're trading on Uniswap if that's the best trade for you. They also aggregate all of these liquidity venues and also they aggregate aggregators, right? So like 1inch, if you ever trade on 1inch, 1inch tries to get you the best trade price for your trade, and it aggregates lots of different liquidity venues like Uniswap and Balancer and any others. Well, CoW is aggregating those as well. So it's getting you the best execution for your trade, but also with CoW, CoW stands for coincidence of wants. And basically what they're trying to do is trade without MEV. Maximal extractable value is where bots actually front run your trades. So if you're buying some coins, maybe a bot can see your order and front run you. It can buy the coins and then sell the coins to you at a slightly higher price. And you think you've had a good trade, but they've made a tiny kind of a profit out of your trade. Well, MEV blocker basically blocks 90% of this. So you should be getting the absolute best trade execution if using CoW. CoW is an Ethereum-based app, so you can use it on Ethereum mainnet. Base and Arbitrum are also supported, which are very popular. Gnosis chain as well. So you can use any of these chains if you want to swap on here and you have coins. I'm going to show you on Base just because cheaper gas fees. So I've connected my wallet here. We just need to pay for any gas fees in Ethereum. So I'm going to go over to my exchange and I've got some Ethereum here. I'm just going to withdraw it out into my wallet on the Base chain right here. So if you've never used a DEX before, every time you carry out a transaction, you need to pay for gas on the chain that you're using. On Base and Arbitrum and Ethereum mainnet, that's ETH for gas. So I'm just going to withdraw ETH out into my wallet right here. And then we can pay for gas. We can also use ETH as value to swap into any other coin. I'll leave some links below to the exchanges I use if you want some deposit and trading bonuses on those. We can trade coins on the swap interface, but also CoW Protocol have an RPC. And you can actually put this into your wallet and then you can use their RPC to prevent any MEV when you're trading on other platforms. So if you're not using the CoW interface to go ahead and trade, you also can use the RPC here. And if you're on a different protocol, it should be able to prevent any MEV that you may suffer on those protocols. For example, if you're on Base, you may want to use Aerodrome, Uniswap, something else. So what we can do is go to products and then MEV blocker. Press get protected down here. This is just the RPC. This is essentially the way that you communicate with the blockchain from your wallet. And so Ethereum wallets should let you put any RPC in that you want to use. So if you want MEV protection, you can put this into your wallet. So I'll show you on Rabbi quickly. If you get the Rabbi wallet up here, I think it's more, and then go down to modify RPC URL, right? So what I'm going to do is go to that. And then I choose modify RPC, choose the blockchain that you want to modify that for. So let's say I want to modify it on Base. I go and paste in this RPC URL right here. So paste that in. And then essentially what you're doing is using that RPC to communicate with the blockchain. And that is what's going to prevent most of the MEV that you may suffer if you use different swap protocols like Uniswap or Aerodrome or whatever you're on, whatever's supported. So you can do that in MetaMask as well. Just go to settings, RPC URL, you can put that in here. So you add that in, add these details in, copy and paste them, and then you've got MEV protection on the supported networks. Now I'll show you how to trade tokens on CoW. There's really one main thing we need to know on how this works before going ahead and swapping. So firstly, I've got some ETH in my wallet, and I'm going to pay for gas fees using ETH. The Base network has ETH for gas, so the gas fee that comes up, I'll pay that with ETH. Now, if you want to use ETH as one side of the swap as well, which many people do, for example, I'm going to use the value of ETH that I have to swap into another coin. We can't actually swap native ETH for another coin using CoW because it uses smart contracts to go ahead and trade. So what CoW needs to do is swap the native ETH token that we have into wrapped ETH. Wrapped ETH is one for one with ETH, but it's an ERC20 token that we can use to interact with other tokens. And so we need wrapped ETH in our wallet. Now, there's two ways to do this. The first one is wrapping it yourself in bulk first before trading. This is best if you think you're going to use CoW a lot and go ahead with a lot of trades. Just swap it directly first. What we're actually doing is wrapping. So as you can see, what I've done here is gone to swap. I've gone to ETH, which is native ETH that's in my wallet that's going to pay for gas. And I'm going to wrap that into wrapped ETH, which is this one here, WETH. You can see it says wrap and not swap. There are no trading fees here or anything else. The only small cost is a gas fee when you wrap because you're using the smart contract. So on Base, that's going to be super low. On Ethereum mainnet, it's going to be a little bit more. Press wrap and you can wrap ETH into wrapped ETH. It's a different token. It's going to sit in your wallet, but it's 1-for-1 in value. And then you can use that to swap for other tokens and put limit orders in and everything else. If you're just going to use the CoW protocol one-off, you've just got like $50 of ETH, you just want to get it into something else, then don't bother doing this because CoW can actually wrap it within the swap. So it's going to wrap first and then swap whatever you want to swap. There is a slight chance that you may get a slightly worse trade when doing that. But if you're swapping small amounts, it's going to be, not very relevant anyway. So either wrap first, or if you're going to swap one off, just don't even bother. If you have ETH in your wallet and you want to swap it for something else, just choose the ETH here and then go back and we can choose a different token like USDT or something. And it's going to do the wrap and the trade all in one. There's a few major things we need to know before swapping. The first is if you've never swapped a token before, then you may need to give CoW approval to manipulate the token balances in your wallet. So if you do need to give approval, when you press swap, it's just going to come up first and say, you need to approve this. And then you go ahead with a transaction to approve CoW to manipulate that token in your wallet. So you do that approval and then you go ahead and swap. So it's actually two transactions. Now, some tokens have gas fee approvals. If you see this to the right-hand side of a token, it means gas fee approvals. And so you don't pay any gas. Some others require gas. If you're on Base, it's going to be like not even very much anyway. So it doesn't really matter. The second thing is you can search for them here. Right, so if I search for a token, you can see that's here, 0 gas fees. So that's fine. And it's a big token, which is a favorite token anyway, right? But if you're searching for smaller tokens, you may want to paste in the token address of the token itself. So I'm going to go over to CoinGecko. From here, I'm going to search the token. So I've searched for USDC. I'll do this for any token. Come down to the info and then click this. Search for the contract address on the blockchain that you're using. So I'm using this token on Base. I'm going to copy this. Go back to CoW. From here, I'm going to paste this in the search box. So paste it in and it says, we found this token. It's this one right here. This just prevents you from choosing a scam token or something like that. You can be super sure that the token that you're trading is the one that you want. So you can choose the token that you want to swap into and then we can go ahead and swap. Make sure the slippage that you're accepting for this trade is appropriate for the tokens that you're trading. This icon right here is to set slippage. Slippage is the difference between the price quote that you get given here and then the actual price that it trades at on the blockchain. Because there's a time difference and everything like that, there could be a small difference. Now for big coins, don't worry about it. For meme coins or some tiny little coin somewhere, the slippage may have to be put up a little bit. In any case, just set it to auto. I think you'll be fine. For me, 0.5% slippage, but I know for these coins, the slippage is going to be like tiny, like probably 5 basis points or less. So it doesn't matter. So auto, I think, is probably recommended. From here, we can go ahead and swap. Make sure you've got enough gas to pay for the transaction in ETH and then swap to whatever coin that you want. So I'm going to press swap here. You can see what's happening. It's telling me the price and the fee, the expected gas costs and everything like that, slippage tolerance. And then you can see transaction expiration, 30 minutes. This is because you're trying to find the best trade. You're trying to actually match up with other people. Again, for big coins, it literally doesn't matter. For tiny coins, if you're trading a huge amount, it may try and find that liquidity. You can actually just set the transaction to expire. In any case, just for most people, just leave it as normal. Confirm swap is going to go over to the wallet to confirm everything. If you need to approve a token, you have to approve it here first. For me, I'm going to sign and confirm right here, and that can go ahead and swap. Now, what it's actually doing is swapping ETH to wrapped ETH and then swapping ETH into the token for me all in one. So that's going to go through and eventually I'll receive the USDC in my wallet. Everything's been accepted as you can see, and it now is receiving that, looks to be swapped. So best price found, literally that took like 5 seconds and there you go, it's all swapped. So you've swapped it with the best price. You've also hopefully removed any MEV from your transaction as well. There's also a couple of different order types on CoW, one of them being a limit order, which is great to see. This is where we can choose the price that we trade at. When you press swap, you're just taking whatever price is available in the market right now. With a limit order, we can choose the price that we trade at in the future. So what I'm going to do is sell some ETH, and I'm going to sell that for USDC right here. So the current price in the market, it tells me, is 3,647. So if I sell 1 ETH, I get this much USDC. I'm going to say to the protocol that I want to sell 1 ETH at 5,000. Now I can't trade right now because the market is cheaper than this order, right? So there are many people willing to sell at lower prices than this. However, if the price of ETH moves up, eventually there will be a buyer at 5,000 and I can sell that order. So I'm going to say that I want to sell ETH, and then I'm going to choose my limit price of 5,000. You can choose the expiry for this order and then the coin that you want to receive. If the market price gets to $5,000 per ETH, I can go ahead and trade this limit order. The thing here is that you definitely need wrapped ETH and not ETH. Like I said, ETH is a native coin. It can't be wrapped up in contracts. Wrapped ETH is the thing you need to actually wrap up in a contract, then you can put the limit order in. So you need wrapped ETH to go ahead with the limit order. You can swap on the swap interface like I showed you. Down here, USDC, that's the coin that you want to buy. And then if you have an amount of wrapped ETH, you can just press this and your limit order goes in on the right-hand side. Now you can put multiple limit orders in here. For example, if I have 1 ETH in my wallet, let's say I put one sell order in at 5,000 and one sell order in at 10,000. So I've got limit orders for 2 ETH now. I don't have 2 ETH in my wallet. Well, it's going to trade what's available. So if you've got 1 ETH and you can sell that at 5,000, it will sell it. The 10,000 order or another order at 5,000, if you don't have any ETH in your wallet to sell, then it's not going to sell it. You'll have the limit order, you can put it in, but if you don't have the coins or tokens to actually go ahead and trade, it just won't be able to do it for you. But you can see all of your orders here. You can cancel them, you can put them in, like I said, you can put expiries on them as well, and that will go here. If you do have orders here, there will be an option to cancel the limit order as well. Some of this is gas free for the most part as well, which is super good. So you can put limit orders in, and as long as you have tokens in your wallet to trade, it will execute them if the price matches your limit order. TWAP orders can be used if you're trading much larger amounts. TWAP stands for time weighted average price. Essentially what it does is a massive order, it tries to work it over a certain amount of time. So instead of trading $1 million worth of ETH in one hit, you could actually get a lot of slippage for your trade, right? What you can do is work it over, let's say, 24 hours. That's going to drip feed the order into the market and just let the liquidity recover from a big trade like that. So this is for if you've got massive amounts, right? So wrapped ETH again, selling that into USDC. You can see price protection here. So I want the price to be within like 2% of this price, right? So I don't want to move the market too much. This is if you're trading bigger amounts in smaller coins, you're going to move the price, right? So what you do is just try and drip feed liquidity into the market to try and get a decent price overall and not just smash the whole market out and get a bad price for your trade. You can see here, I'm going to let that expire in a week. So I'm going to work the order over a week, and then the parts of the order that will be drip fed into the market at regular intervals. As you can see, every 3 days. If you change this to 6 hours, then every 3 hours, you're going to be just doing a little bit of the order over time, just kind of drip feeding it into the market. You can see that's the amount that you would sell per order, etc. And you can actually put that in. Unsupported wallet for me, if you're using MetaMask or something, you can use that. That's for much bigger orders that you want to split up and get a trade price that is more or less what the market is trading over a certain period of time. I'll leave the link below to CoW. It's cow.fi. Other helpful videos and deposit bonuses on the centralized exchanges I use all down in the description. I'm James, this is Manzy G. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.